Hello, welcome back, Transformer TCG fans and followers and friends and family. Okay, what I want to go to is I'm trying to really complete a lot of loose ends that I've started, a lot of little projects. You know, I did Tripedicus, finalized for Tripedicus. Well, I did have mentioned Magnaboss. I think I finished Magnaboss, but I haven't cut up the big guy to be able to go in the backs of the cards. But you could probably do that yourself if you want to even try this character that I've tried to come up with. So let's just take a look at this real quick. But before we get into Magnaboss, I have less than an hour for a possible meeting with my boss. So I'm just taking a small break. I'm just ready to pull my hair out. Just look at Tripedicus's stratagem, which is called the Scrapping Tower, the Tripedicus Nocturnal Crusher, where each time one of your upgrades is scrapped or one of your card scraps an enemy upgrade, put a counter on this. Once you get 9 counters, you can combine Cicadacon, Ramhorn, and C-Clamp in the battlefield and or the KO into Tripedicus. It doesn't matter which side they're on. If they're alt or bot mode, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of getting 9 counters on the stratagem to be able to combine them. Because it's only 3 characters, and the 3 characters with the stratagem, if I remember correctly, does add up to 25. But because of the stratagem, Tripedicus is 24. With an attack of 6, health of 34, defense of 2. So with that in mind, let's look into Magnaboss here. And I've got some interesting images. I was really wanting to try to give, because I didn't ask, I just found and used. And so a lot of these were from the bios, from IDW or somebody, from the comics, maybe Dreamwave, I don't know. And so in one of them, let's just look at the top. Let's look at Ironhide. And since there's 3 characters, just like Tripedicus, they're all 8-star characters. So 8 times 3 is 4. The stratagem is going to be 25. Originally, I wasn't going to do that. And I thought maybe I might make a like a Enigma. That's what the silly thing is called. An Enigma, maybe to combine these guys. But I'm like thinking it's only 3 characters. So let's do something unique, kind of like I did with Tripedicus here. So let's look at Ironhide, who he's not Santine. I'm going by the names of the original figures that I still have somewhere in my dungeon downstairs. Okay, so it's not Santine. It's Ironhide, Prowl, and Silverbolt. Because that was the original names of these characters that combined into the toy Magnaboss. That's what I'm going with. So Ironhide is the strong. I didn't add anything else like infiltrator, soldier, warrior, anything like that. I just made it very simple, very short and simple. So Ironhide is the strong. The drawing, his bot mode, because they're kind of side by side, I'll do what I can on the after edit of putting it up here, is from the bio. The alt mode, which is showing bot mode right now, the alt mode is, that's why I wasn't connected, okay, is an image. It might actually, I found it online, but it might actually be the Earth Wars image. I'm not sure, but it's really hard to see. It's this, both backgrounds are from Beast Wars, because these are Beast War characters. I wanted to put them in that universe. It's hard to tell in the bot mode, but in the alt mode, I did give a shadow to the elephant. So, okay. Let's I'm going to do something a little different. Ironhide is the strong, Prowl is the furious, Silverbolt is the swift. So, and there's some interesting things here. Prowl is just, that's a neat image of, this may be right off of their bios for the most part. And Prowl is also 8 stars. They're all 8 stars. Prowl the Furious. I was looking at a whole 2 beast modes, wave 5 beast characters that we have. And I think that was like Pounce and someone else. And so I started looking at their stats and whatever. So it was really hard to tell who was the leader. And depending on which story you look at, sometimes Ironhide was the leader or Prowl was the leader. And it all seemed like they were like Maximal Elders or whatever, or older characters that came and were reformatted, etc., depending on which storyline you're looking at, because these guys did not show up in the show whatsoever. So I made Prowl the leader. You know, I'm a Narnia fan, and he is a lion, kind of like Lion King, and so, okay, Prowl the Furious is the leader. He's beast, and he's the specialist of all things. So Prowl's a specialist. Ironhide is the melee, and Silverbolt is the ranged character. Let's look at Silverbolt the Swift. His bot mode, I found this image black and white. And I don't know if it's actually for Silverbolt, but I had the hardest time trying to find a decent bot mode for this figure, for this character. And the alt mode for him is actually just, I didn't want to do it this way, but it's just right out of Earth Wars. So his alt mode is how he looked like. He looks like an Earth Wars, and I put him on a cartoon background from the '86 movie. So that's where the sky is coming from, in case you're wondering. Now Silverbolt, I colored this. I don't know if I don't know if it's really supposed to be this character. I think it is. I can't remember where I found it or who drew it, but it was not colored. I colored it. I really surprised myself. I'm like, wow, okay, this looks pretty good. So he's the range character, and for the most part, I did something, this may not even care, hill of beans, but Rhinox and Prowl are rare. Silverbolt is uncommon. So if you want to put this in a generator, you might get Silverbolt over Prowl or Ironhide. You know, if you were actually trying to pull cards from a booster. That's really what the common and uncommon and rares somewhat signify. And some of the rarer characters are seem to be more powerful, especially the SRTs in the original game. Unless I'm wrong. So let's start off with, go back to Ironhide, who he's not the leader, but I gave him the most health because he's the biggest. So he's got an attack of 3, health of 12, defense of 2 in alt mode. I almost gave him 3 like a tank, but I didn't. In his bot mode, his attack goes up to 4, his defense comes down to 1. When he's in alt mode, he gave him a tap ability to scrap an enemy armor. So you'll lose your attack with him, but if you want to, in alt mode, you can tap him, scrap an enemy armor. Bot mode, this has Brave when untapped. So when you start off, if you don't get to go first, your enemy has to go into Ironhide, who has just slightly more health than all the rest. So looking at 8-star characters, a lot were like in 11 and 12 range. So 11, 11, and 12, 34 health, just like Tripedicus. Okay, so pretty much their stats are just about just about the same, except I dropped Magnaboss's total attack down to 1. So that's Ironhide. He does have bold 1 in bot mode. So going on to Prowl, who is the leader, beast and specialist, and leader and specialist. I got to go real quick, guys. So he has a when you flip for flipping to his alt mode, to his lion mode. When you flip to this mode, scrap an equipped upgrade from a character you control. You may put a card from your hand on top of your deck. So it's not much of an ability, really. So when you flip him to alt mode, scrap an upgrade equipped from a character to be able to basically plan 1 from your hand. Kind of weak. You probably would never want to do it. But he does have the strongest attack this way in his alt mode over his bot mode, which comes down to 3. His health is 11. And I'm sorry. Attack of 5, health of 11, defense of 2 in alt mode, comes down to an attack of 3 in bot mode, and the defense stays the same, but he does get just blanket pierce 3 in bot mode. So there's that. So attack of 3, pierce 3, not a great maybe I should have. We could have him scrap an upgrade from a enemy character, and then plan 1 from you may put a card from your hand on top of your deck. I don't know, but so let's keep going. Let's keep going. But you're probably not going to want, even with that weak ability on Prowl, you probably never want to flip him to alt mode because of the ability. You might want to attack with him first in alt mode before you flip him. Silverbolt, attack of 3, health of 11, defense of 2 in alt mode. His attack goes up to 4 in bot mode. When you flip to his alt mode, when you flip to this mode, you may draw 1. So Silverbolt here has some draw power. In bot mode, when this defends against a car, motorcycle, tank, or truck, this has sturdy 2. Now, I normally don't mess with ideas that the other guys have come up with, but I thought, that's a nice way of putting, reduce your attacker's total damage by 2, which is basically, I think, what sturdy is. So Silverbolt has that as long as he's defending against those 4 traits, which are grounded traits, and he could probably still fly in bot mode because still has wings. I had to color every bit of that. So I thought that was a neat way of doing that, and they are all Maximals. Let's look at. I came up with a weapon. This is going to be key. The Megaton Battle Sword, not Megatron, Megaton. It is a faction maximal weapon that is a white pip with +1 for defense, which is unusual because it's just so blasted big. Put on Maximals only, and this is unusual because it's a white pip card. It's a weapon white pip card that gives defense, and it gives bold 2. Okay, now let's look at the stratagem. When I was looking up these characters to try to figure out what their, what I was the strong, the furious, the lazy, their little subheadings, their subtypes. I was also looking up Magnaboss. I'm like, and I had the darndest idea. I'm like, how am I going to combine these guys without an enigma? And I'd already done the upgrade thing and counters for Tripedicuses, scrapping tower. So I thought, unite the elders. And I looked and looked and looked. And I'm thinking, how can we do this? So this might come too easy, but it's also going to force you to prepare your deck in a way to be able to do this. If you cannot pull this off, or one of them gets KO'd, you cannot combine them. Okay? So health of 11, 11, and 12, that's not a whole lot of health. They're only 8-star characters. So once the Maximals, Prowl the Furious, Ironhide the Strong, and Silverbolt the Swift are each equipped with the Megaton Battle Sword, and Prowl, who is the leader, is equipped with the Matrix of Leadership. Okay. Are each equipped with the Megaton Battle Sword, and Prowl is equipped with... I need the word with or something in here. It's going to crowd it up a little. Shucks. And I put in the symbol again. Okay. And Prowl is equipped with the Matrix of Leadership. Combine them into Magnaboss. So you're going to need 3 of those swords and at least a Matrix, if not a couple of Matrixes, to be able to get a Matrix on Prowl. So having the Matrix on Prowl is going to help your other characters out. Once you're able to get all those swords on all 3 characters, then you can combine them. Of course, as with the rule of any combiner, you can only take 1 weapon, 1 armor, and 1 utility collectively from all your characters onto the combined character. Okay, so you can't get I got 3 Megaton Swords on Magnaboss. No, you can only bring 1. So that will happen automatically. All right, which I thought was kind of neat, which is going to give him a bump in defense in bold 2 from the sword itself. So that's going to help them combine. And this is a star cards, which is going to final out the 25 stars. And looking at Magnaboss's, let's look at his character. Looking, because I've never really, since he didn't show up in the show, I have the figures, but I didn't play with them because I was too old. They're very fragile. I think I last left them combined. I hope they're still combined and not broken. That were packaged unceremoniously by my wife and son to get them out of his room some years ago in a big plastic bin. So he is the Matrix Templar. And I'm thinking, okay, originally I was just going to make the sword and make sure you get the 3 swords on them and then you can combine. And then when this combines, you may scrap an enemy weapon. That's only going to be a one-time thing. And if they don't have a weapon, oh, well, you're not scrapping anything. So he does get bold 1, pierce 1, and tough 1. His stats are almost the exact same as Tripedicus, except his attack is 5, not 6. Why? Because the sword is going to give him bold 2. So I dropped his Magnaboss's, that he'll have actually bold 3 as a result. But I thought that was somewhat a give and take here. Should it be 4? Because since it will give him bold 3, let's do that 4. Let's get this is going to be, because I was trying to balance this out somewhat, because Tripedicus has tough 3. He has defensive 2 and tough 3. And when he combines, you get to do non-attack damage. So when Magnaboss combines, all you're doing is getting to scrap a weapon, enemy weapon. But in order to combine Magnaboss, you're going to have these 3 weapons and a utility, the Matrix, on Prowl, to be able to combine him. So there's that. Oh gosh, what time is it? Okay. So I thought, well, and since he's going to automatically have bold 3, let's do that. I'm going to change it down from 5 to 4. against my better judgment. But you will start off with bold 3 with this guy, and you're already going to be able to knock off their weapon, which off an enemy character. The health is the same, the defense is the same. So since he's going to have bold 3, countering Tripedicus's tough 3, which is on the character automatically, I think this will be a nice give and take. Magnaboss does have Pierce 1. I didn't want to go more over than 1. Tripedicus is already going to have tough 3 on his combined form. If you have, so trying to weigh the cons here, the pros and the cons, or the maximals and the cons. No. So, and because I thought, well, this character, this Magnaboss, talk about the Matrix Templar. Thought, well, let's add the Matrix in here. And I'm thinking, well, I made Prowl leader. Let's make sure he's wearing the Matrix and all 3 of them are wearing the sword, and then you can combine it. This makes sense. It might be a little easier to combine than trying to get the 9 counters of Tripedicus. Of course, whether you're scrapping in your own upgrades on Tripedicus for, like, say you swap out 3 attack drones for another weapon. Boom, that is 3 weapons. Boom, boom, boom. 3 counters on Tripedicus' scrapping tower. Okay, you scrapped one of your enemy's characters as a result. Boom, that's 4. So, I mean, as long as you got the right deck, you can get Tripedicus built pretty quickly too. Okay, so I think this is okay for Magnaboss. It's a little different, might be a little easy, but if one of them gets KO'd, you can say bye-bye to combining this guy. So, what do you think? Uniting the elders. Unite the elders. Silverbolt the Swift, Prowl the Furious, and Ironhide the Strong. If you look at some of the bios that I was looking at one of the wikis or all the wikis or whatever, you'll kind of see where I got these ideas from. And if you play Earth Wars, you'll see where I got probably 2 of the where I got definitely Silverbolt's alt mode, but possibly Ironhide's also. That's all I have time for. I've got to get back to work. I need to go over 20 minutes. So unpacked a good bit. This is a Magnaboss. Do you like this Magnaboss? Do you think this will work with the game? Because if your enemy is scrapping your cards and your weapons, you're going to have to try to get those swords and a Matrix on Prowl to be able to combine him. So there's that. This might be a good casual game where, PTT can come into play to bring that character back to be able to get him to combine maybe. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. See if you like what we got here. I got to get back to work. We'll catch you next time. Let me know in the comments, or just by a single thumbs up or what, a like or whatever. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Have not just a great day, but a blessed day. And as always, Autobots, flip out and let's roll for it.